What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Benched In Podcast, where we bring you the latest in construction, engineering, surveying, technology, and news. Today I'm with my man Josh, who leads our field sports and division. So, Josh, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Josh Glover, I've been with Benchmark about almost 3 years.
Cool.
Before I joined Benchmark, I was a sports field manager, so essentially an end user of some of the products related to technology that we're offering to sports field managers.
Oh, that's fantastic. So a guy who actually understands the product from full gamut, he was actually out there doing the work.
Yeah. Just like I said, I was in need of some of this equipment when I was in the field.
Cool. And let's jump right into it. I mean, from a sports maintenance type of field, let's go ballparks first, baseball. What are kind of those current strategies these guys are doing out there to maintain these fields?
Yeah, so historically, there's been lots of equipment that folks have used historically on ball fields. A lot of that kind of equipment was originally designed for golf course maintenance.
Oh, really?
And so a lot of those kind of developed and added attachments for ball field maintenance.
Okay.
And then now we have equipment that's designed essentially for ball field maintenance and all of the attachments that are offered on those.
Fantastic. And I think Force by ABI is one of the leading guys, right? And there's Z23 model. You want to give us a little bit of rundown on how that kind of works?
Yeah, so the ABI Force, the Force by ABI Z23, essentially it's just to describe a little bit about the machine.
Cool.
It's built on a zero-turn chassis.
Okay.
And has attachments that are designed to go on the front, the mid, and the rear of the machine, and just gives you lots of different capabilities, lots of options to choose from.
Cool.
To assist in your everyday maintenance projects as well.
Awesome. And from a guy who doesn't know so much about it, what does a zero-turn chassis even mean right there?
Well, so it operates just like a zero-turn, a stand-on zero-turn mower would, in that it's easy to maneuver.
Got it. So you got really tight turning radius.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool. And in terms of the Z23, I believe it's got a ton of attachments that go along with it. It's a little daunting when you first look at it. I mean, you want to break some of those down for us?
Yeah, it can be. So there's just a lot to choose from. And I love to talk with customers about what might be a best fit for them. But essentially, when you look at it, there are attachments that are designed for infield grooming.
Okay.
For renovations, and then there's some laser grading capability there as well.
Got it. So it has a little bit of everything depending on what you're trying to do.
That's right.
All right. And I would assume there's some major and minor attachments. I mean, when you're dealing with, some of your customers out there, what I guess would be maybe the big three that you see a lot of people using on there?
Yeah. Everyone's always going to pick a combination of a nail drag and a finish drag.
Okay.
So that's kind of your everyday use. A lot of guys get the edger attachment because it's you can edge your ball fields just with one person, and it takes out a lot of the physical labor.
Okay.
And then certainly the laser grading attachments there as well.
Awesome. And even the laser grading, I see this debate all the time between, a dual grade laser or cone laser. I mean, which one are you using here?
So we're actually, it's best to evaluate the field that you have. And so a lot of times based on the construction, it could have been built with a cone laser or with a dual slope. And so we can go out and through just conversation and evaluation of your field, we can determine which one of those, and so that we can provide the best solution. You can grade with either one, but it's best to kind of go with what you've had and what the construction process gave you.
So it sounds like depending on what the field was originally built on, that's going to be the best laser for the job.
That's going to be the best option for you to keep it the way it is.
All right.
Essentially.
All right. Yeah. I guess not make extra work for yourself in
right.
point on that one.
Use what the field gives you, and the end goal is to get water to run off and give you the best option for playability.
Cool. So, that's the one side of ball field maintenance, right? But jumping into the turf side of things, what kind of current technology have you been seeing used out there these days?
Yeah, so there are some robotic field painting options.
All right.
Really good options out there. We offer it's SWOZI.
SWOZI, okay.
Yeah, and SWOZI's a great option. Built really well. and can really do anything that you need to on a field painting surface.
And even for those, I think I read a stat somewhere. I think 2% of all turf and just in general field line painting is using GPS. So only 2% of the industry is currently utilizing this type of tech. For those who don't really know about robotic field painters, how do these kind of work?
Yeah. So essentially, we're using we have the ability to use RTK corrections.
Okay.
And so we're pulling satellite signal from a constellation of satellites that gives us the sub-inch accuracy that's needed. Wow. And through software, we can design fields.
Yeah, in essence, you use the software where you're loading it up, and then ultimately this robot is smart enough to paint out
the software is essentially controlling the robot and telling it where to go to get the accuracy and what's needed.
Wow. Okay. And you mentioned SWOZI. I mean, who are these guys? Where are they based out of? And I think there's probably 2 or 3 main guys doing this industry right now.
Yeah. So SWOZI is a Swiss company.
Okay.
They've got a few different options to look at. I really like the build. It's almost like a commercially built machine with large pneumatic tires. The whole thing is either stainless steel or like a composite material.
Okay.
Just some great advantages that SWOZI offers.
Cool. And you mentioned there's a couple models. Breakdown. I guess I think there's 3 models in the line, right? What are the differences between those 3?
Yeah, there's really an option for really anybody at any price point, which is pretty cool. There's a fully autonomous option.
Okay.
And then there's another option that is really efficient as well. But essentially it uses GPS technology to the machine, but instead of having wheel motors that drive it, you can either push it or you can use a Graco line driver to actually push it manually. Oh. And you're still using GPS. You're still eliminating all the need to measure and lay out your fields.
And when I'm pushing, if the thing's got to make a left turn, is it going to make a left turn on its own? Or
no. So there's a secondary correction to it.
Okay.
The nozzle apparatus actually. So if in my error I push a little bit to the left, it's actually going to slide to the right to calculate for my misdirection.
Nice. Yeah, I drift a little bit on the while I drive, so that'd be great to have. So, and I guess too, if I have to, make a left hand to do the corner, it'll tell me on a screen or on a tablet. Hey,
sure.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah, you just select the next line in that mode, and you select the next line that you want to paint, and it'll pull it up on the tablet and tell you once you're on the line and it starts to paint on its own.
So like following a little bit of a GPS, right? Hey, make a left turn here, right turn there. And
right, yeah.
So awesome. And in terms of accuracy, I mean, you said sub-inch. How does it compare to the guys who've been doing it, let's call it the old school or traditional way?
Yeah, you can be pretty accurate pulling strings, but really what's where this kind of hits home is the time savings. Certainly, the most accurate way without GPS would be to pull strings and measure things out that way.
Okay.
Some guys are not using strings at all.
Wow.
We get to not pull strings with this option, and we're still extremely accurate.
Okay, that's great to hear. When you were doing it, were you pulling strings?
Oh yeah, every time. Yeah, I needed that accuracy. Okay. So I wanted to make the product as good as possible.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, listen, you have any customer, stories that you want to share? I mean, a guy maybe who went from pulling strings to a SWOZI, what was his experience like?
Yeah, everybody talks about the time savings.
Cool.
Certainly that's a huge thing. To get a quality line, save some of the physical labor. I've thinking just back to a couple of examples. Upon delivery, guys love that it's a machine and not a toy. Mm-hmm. It's an actual machine that they expect to last for quite some time.
Oh, well, fantastic. Well, listen, I think that covers a lot of it in terms of the current tech we're using in the sports field and turf maintenance. You have anything else that we maybe missed here, Josh?
No, I just think it's some of this technology is a great fit for Benchmark. We've been Benchmark has been in business for 20 years, using this technology, just in a different industry.
Yeah. And
so now this technology is coming to the sports field industry, and our service guys are great. Everyone at Benchmark is a GPS expert. And so it's great to partner with folks that understand that technology.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Well, listen, thank you for tuning in to this week's Benched In podcast, and we'll catch you guys next time.